Yo, what's up, my crypto knights? Welcome back to Crypto Comics. I was so excited for today, and that excitement turned into great disappointment when I dove right into my long box, and I swam and I swam and I swam and I swam and I swam. I dog paddled. Like Andre in The Princess Bride. I only dog paddle. And I got to Bloodpool. I was so excited to read Bloodpool. Bloodpool is about young new genes, that would be like people with superpowers in the Extreme Studios universe. The new genes who are underage being groomed to be in the next generation of Youngblood. This is the Bloodpool. And I've had this for many months in my long box. I had like issue number 1 for quite a while. And I intentionally went out and bought the rest of the Bloodpool miniseries when I was at Excalibur Comics in Portland, Oregon, the world famous Excalibur Comics, the longest running comic book shop in Portland, as far as I know. Others have come and gone, but Excalibur still exists, and it's a place you can pretty much guarantee. If I can't find it at my local comic shop, I go over the river to Portland to Excalibur. If they don't have it, I check Cosmic Monkey, which is also in Portland. And if they don't have it, I know I have to go to mycomicshop.com because it's the only place I'm going to be able to find it. So I've been holding on to Bloodpool for, I've had this like in my box for 6 months because I knew we were going to do a Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month. And I was going to read this whole thing and talk about it. And I was so excited for it because it's such a fun concept. And well, I have 3 and 2. And for some reason, I have 2 copies of issue 4. And I have this single copy of issue number 1, and I opened it up, ready to read it for the very first time, and I realized this is Bloodpool Special number 1. It's not Bloodpool number 1 in the 4-issue miniseries. This came afterward. This was called Bloodpool Special number 1. And I wanted to remind you, remember yesterday in the Maximage video, where we got to the advertisements in the back of the book, and there was an advertisement for a crossover in Extreme Studios called Hate, and all of a sudden I saw the same exact font used for Hate right here. So I think that the race war is coming to Extreme Studios in this book. And sure enough, it did come, and we're going to get into it right now because this is fun. And it's much more enjoyable than Maximage. And you know, I liked it better than the Berserkers that we did a couple days ago even. But I really wish it would have just been issue number 1 from the miniseries so I could have read them all and had a really fun time meeting these characters. I didn't want to meet them this way. I didn't want to introduce them to you this way. But it's what we got planned today for Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month on Crypto Comics. So we're going to get into it. And it's still a fun story. It's a lighthearted story. Is it a lighthearted story? Yeah, the manner in which it's dealt with is fairly light, I would say. This is not something that is, always going to be remembered in the canon of Youngblood's lore, but, it's a story. It's written by Jo Duffy. It's penciled by the phenomenally talented Patrick Lee. The story so far, they are the cyborgs and the psychics, the warriors, the channels, and the alchemists. The kids who've made breaking up into an offensive art. They are the best and the brightest, the few, the proud, the unemployed. Underage superheroes, recruited by the government for eventual inclusion in the prestigious Youngblood team. They were poked, prodded, trained, and enhanced. And when a new administration cut funding, the members of Bloodpool were out on the street. Now these rebels without a cost accountant are in business for themselves and trying to make it in the real world. This is from March of 1996. Hey, Wilmington, we are alcohol, tobacco, and firearm hate crime. And we are here to rock you. Are you ready for that? Yeah. Then let's rock. This is the moment they've dreamed of, worked for, planned their entire lives and futures around. Unfortunately, these guys suck. They totally blow. Get them out of here and don't come back, losers. Ow! They throw the band out. How mean is that? They were competing in the battle of the bands. They don't even get to finish? That's rude. Dudes, they didn't like us. Dude, they threw us out when they should have made us rich and famous. They hated us. Maybe we should have practiced. No, that's not it. Listen to them in there. They're cheering for someone else. Probably for some black Negroes. Black Negroes? Okay, it does say that. Probably for some black Negroes. Which I like a lot better than white Negroes. They can't throw us out and cheer for black Negroes. It's un-American. What'd you expect? You saw more mongrels in that crowd than true Americans like us. It's probably a conspiracy by the sponsors. Yeah, look at their names. Lieber and Okazaki, not Americans. And JAPS, nose jobs and eye jobs. We're gonna make them pay. Yeah, liberty and justice for all, and all for us. And next up, a trio you're sure to like. Give it up for the lovely ladies of Spice Rack. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, this is who we're here to see. Talented, young, and beautiful, and black like me. Rebel, no one on earth is black like you. Yeah, you're too kind, soul. What she means is we're superheroes. They're singers. Right you are, Task. Bloodpool and Spice Rack are practically twins. We fight crime. They have musical talent, sing, dance, and rehearse for hours. Yeah, I don't see the connection either. Fame, fortune, and great costumes. Those are great dresses. I might prefer less of the costumes and more of the girls. Eh, Fusion? Knock it off, Wilder. I mean, they're lovely, but you're probably offending Soul and Silence. Are you offended, Sai? That last bass player had such great abs. What? Now this is kind of fun. Meanwhile, miles south in Washington, D.C., an unimaginably huge machine hidden deep beneath the city's surface busies itself with the task of sucking power from the Earth's shifting tectonic plates. The machine has one purpose: to extract and purify emotion from the world above. Trapped within the machine is the telepath Sci-Fire, a former member of Youngblood, and the catalyst through which the heated emotions consuming much of the Earth's population have been amplified. Now, as those emotions swirl out of control, the unconscious Sci-Fire reabsorbs them and then channels them back into this chamber. For Sith is hungry, and at all costs, Sith must feed. A leftover of the Keep's most recent visit to Earth. Now, we heard about the Keep yesterday in that Maxim Age comic book, so now we're actually getting introduced to him in a totally different comic book. This is great. A leftover of the Keep's most recent visit to Earth, Sith was one of the many creatures collected by the alien power millennia ago. See Extreme Destroyer, which we aren't going to be able to see because I don't have it. Long kept frozen and under study, it wasn't until the Keep became engaged in conflict with Earth that Sith awoke, escaping his master's grasp. And upon escape, he found a world rife with hatred, a world at last capable of satiating his undying hunger. Now with Sci-Fire in his thrall, he is immersed in the emotion that is his lifeblood. Above, the world rages out of control, as races, religions, genders, and creeds collide in a fit of violence and anger. Below, Sith drinks deep of mankind's misery, and it is good. Lieber and Okazaki Light and Power Plant, Experimental Research Division. Keep out. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearm. We'll show those mongrel foreign losers. See how cocky and powerful they feel when they don't even have a plan. Hey guys, should we have gotten out of the van? No time to... I don't understand what's happened here. Bluey. Did it explode? This blue stuff around it? I don't know what that is. If you can decipher this image, please tell me in the comments below what is exactly happening. Thank you. This looks really cool, though. What a rush, man. Great colors. Oh, whatever those un-American geeks were working on in there was hot. I feel incredible. Let's go back to that arena and kick some mongrel ass. And remember, in addition to the trophy, you girls will be getting a contract with a major record label. We'd like to thank Lieber and Okazaki and all of you who cheered for us here tonight. We're nothing without our fans. Just make that out to Rubble with all my love. Hey, losers! Time for a race war! How about a real battle of the bands? Time to find out you can't just come here and take money and jobs away from true Americans. But we are American. I was born in Cleveland. Their minds are so full of hate and confusion. Even I can't tell what they mean. Maybe a warrior from the past has some insight, if I do some soul searching. It has ever been the way of the petty man to try to diminish his opponent, rather than rise to the level of challenge they represent. Soul, I still don't get this. Your spirit guide is Japanese, right? From the 16th century. Of the Sonata clan. So how come he speaks modern English? He doesn't, Fusion. But being a spirit who travels time in order to bring enlightenment, his listeners hear him in whatever language they can speak. Yeah, kind of like silence telepathy. We didn't come here to be ignored by chick philosophers. These guys are going to get it. A wise man accepts all knowledge without despising the, despise this, you chicken fried freak. Oosh, they blooshed him. Wow. Oh, ick, they cooked him. He better have gotten back okay, you duck. Hey, buddy. What? This round's on me and in you. And he puts, I don't know what in him. Doesn't really explain it, maybe. I don't get it. Don't feel too good. Fortunately for us all, I do. Not for long. Yeah. Can't stand the smoke, huh, girls? Oh, no. They got two more of your friends. Well, they won't get to you until they go through me. And believe me, sweetheart, I won't go to pieces on you. They won't get to anyone till we see what a little cosmetic molecular transfer does to raise their consciousness. Dudes, we're... That's right, you losers. You're singers. And you're black. But you can't touch this. And he throws his head at him. And his fists. And his head headbutts and his fist punch. End. And that's the end. And we get this story about Wilder. And I'm not going to read this, but I'm going to show you the art because it's really stunning. These pencils are by Brian Denham. Inks by Jonathan Sabal. A little story by Jo Duffy. And I don't understand why. It just seems like there would be maybe a little bit more in here. This would be better as 2 pages. This could have been more fun with 2 pages. Because this is a unique concept. A guy that can just pull apart pieces of his body because he's made of rubble. Cool. I really love this image right here. It's very stunning. I particularly love Wilder's hair. This is great. It's got like a Predator sort of a vibe going on there, doesn't he? I dig that. This guy's really a good artist. Really good. Brian Denham. I'm Wilder. And he turns Wilder, right? Because he's Wilder. Great. You get it. Lady Supreme #1. She's sexy, beautiful, smart, and now she's the most powerful being in the Image universe. Written by Terry Moore. Well known for his portrayal of women, Terry takes on his first superhero work. Drawn by Mike Diodato Studios. Half demon, half angel, all trouble. Devlin. Prophet, Chapel, Super Soldiers, #1. Both were created by science to be indestructible war machines. Both have been used as pawns in the never-ending game of war. Both have left a bloody swath of body bags in their destructive wake. Both friend and foe, Prophet and Cable burst into action as the threat of a new master race looms on the horizon. All-out Image action. I don't understand. When did it take place? Because he's dead and in hell. I don't know when they would have teamed up. Stories from the past, right? That's what they started telling about Chapel, I guess. Special double-sized anniversary issue. It's Glory number 12, blah, blah, blah. Bloodpool trade paperback. Man, can't believe I don't have issue 1. Uh-oh. Well, now there's a subject for the future. This is something I've been waiting a long time to cover. We had talked about Heroes Reborn in the past regarding Rob Liefeld's Avengers and Jim Lee's Fantastic Four runs. But we have yet to talk about Rob's infamous Captain America run, which I love, and which I sincerely hope we get to have be a part of Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month. We've got to get through some Maximum Press comic books next here on Crypto Comics. So this has been Bloodpool Special number 1, part of the Hate crossover. It was good. It ended very abruptly, and that was inappropriate. They should have gone a little bit further. They should have had the Rockers have, a little bit more of a fight. Like, there should have been a fight at the end. But other than that, I enjoyed this. I liked all the characters. I think I understood them. They obviously are drawn very well. The chicks look sexy. The dudes look either buff and dangerous or wicked awesome fresh. While this guy is also made of rock, just like Bad Rock, I feel like this is not taken from Bad Rock, not inspired by him in any way. This is a really wholly unique character. I do think Rob should bring back this character and Soul. Rubble and Soul seem like they would be able to have a future in the comic book industry. Maybe as part of, Brigade or Youngblood. Well, not Youngblood right now if you follow Rob. He's pretty bent right now about the whole Youngblood situation. But we're not going to get into that because I prefer to focus on stuff that's fun. So this is just a fun little isolated, one-off story. It doesn't tie into anything else really, and it doesn't have to. I like that sometimes. It's actually one of the things I really love about working on Legends of the Lone Wolf for Doug Garrett and Gravestone Press, is I just get to write these stories that are one-offs. And I try to make them as rich and lush and full of lore and character depth as possible. But they don't have anything to do with the Lone Wolf ongoing series that Doug is doing that involves the history of Wolf and the character Mad Dog. The opportunity to just be able to write stories I want to write, and I don't have to worry about, where's it going to go 6 months from now. It's really fun and it's really rewarding to be able to have 100%, autonomous freedom. Doug lets me do whatever I want with the character. We try to make sure that the stories he's telling and the stories I telling, that they mesh together as far as like the continuity of Wolf's very long life. And that's the same thing I loved about reading this, is it's just this little simple contained story, and I get to know some of these people and have a little fun little adventure with them, and they stop some obvious white supremacists. So in that sense, it's very forward thinking. Rob Liefeld was doing stuff over 20 years ago that the kids today are salivating over doing in every single issue. Rob, succinctly has it done in a single Bloodpool special. And what's best about it is that the writer did not have to take a political stance at all. Racism is bad, plain and simple. He doesn't have to make it about modern politics, They're not talking about, Bill Clinton and Republicans and the Rush Limbaugh or whatever. They don't have to do that. They don't have to tie it to anything. It's just, there's good and there's bad, and it's on all sides of a political spectrum. You find it. And that's what I appreciate is, what you have is a political story that doesn't get into politics, right? It doesn't deal with modern politics in any way. And that's great. And if you're going to deal with modern politics, like I do in my comic book, Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun, now available on Kickstarter, just go to megawattcomic.com, I deal with it in a way that is very pure and simple and basic and moral and proper, the proper way to deal with it. I'm dealing with illegal immigration, undocumented immigration if you want. And I'm doing it without ever having to utter the word GOP or Democratic Party. You know, Hillary is not part of my book. President Trump is not part of my book. Bernie Sanders is not part of my book. Your political views are not factored into my storytelling. I'm just going to tell you a good story that you're going to like no matter where you fall on the political spectrum. Other than, you know, if you're on the fringes and you're one of these kooks. For all you normies out there, Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun, just as simple and fun and pure as you could possibly want. More so than this is even, I would say. More so than this is even. So please check it out, megawattcomic.com. Please hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe. Hit that ding dong for notifications. Because we're going to keep on rolling each and every day of October here on Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month. And hey, let me just say, if you haven't backed Legends of the Lone Wolf, like, you better go do it like right now. That campaign is going to close like in the next few days, and we're going to print. So if you want a copy, this is your chance to get a copy on Indiegogo. So why don't you go do that right now? And I will see you tomorrow, right here, for another totally awesome comic book review for Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month on Crypto Comics.